Hey, welcome to week 2, chapter 2 of the Rich AF study group in the Her Power Moves the Squad. Excited to see you here at chapter 2. That means you made it through chapter 1, hopefully, right? And if you haven't, go back because you can watch the replay if you weren't able to join us. And even if you joined us and maybe some things were moving pretty quickly, this conversation was flowing, really amazing gems were shared. So you can go back and rewatch that as well. So digging into a look back at chapter 1, the recap, we got to know each other. We were able to, the women were so brave and shared their stories, a reminder that all of the materials that are in our locked, closed, I've created this container, so please do not share anything outside of it, especially not without anyone's permission. No visuals, no audio recordings, etc., screenshots, etc., unless we've all, signed off on that. It's really important. I appreciate that in advance. And so the women were so brave and they shared openly their responses to the prompts at the end of the chapter. We walked through what was coming up for us, which some of the questions Amanda says, what comes up for you, right? And so we talked through that. Some of the high level takeaways are that wherever you are on your journey, and I'll be sharing actually more about who we are and where we fall, especially economically with regard to revenue and things like that, that wherever you are on the journey, everybody has challenges, right? And that can range from what we call having a lack of money in your current reality or what feels like a lack in your current reality, all the way to having a lot. And so much so that you end up having survivor's remorse, right? So that your family is looking at you like, well, you've got it. Can I borrow it? Of course you have it. And all those feelings and what comes up around that. So just know that we are all on this journey together, regardless of where we are on the journey. No one is better or worse off. We're just where we are, and we're working through this together for the next 11 months now. So also want to remind you to please, if you have not already, fill out the survey, which brings me to the point I was making, that I'm going to be sharing some demographics from that. I think it's really important that you know who you're in community with and where we're starting, and also hopefully where we're going, which was the last thing I'll say. In terms of a recap of last week, we all wrote letters from our December 31st, 2024 self. What did you accomplish? How did it feel? Where are you now? How is it feeling? Whatever that looked like for each individual woman. And I'm so excited to see when you read your letters on December 31st of 2024. Okay, so next up is chapter 2. Chapter 2 is all about power. It is all about power and co-creating your future / present reality, right? Actually, in Amanda's group, she actually, there was a quote she shared today that was a little bit of an affirmation that she put out, and it said, say it with me. In me, there is a version of me who has all I desire. I'll say that one more time. In me, there is a version of me who has all I desire. It's already in you. And so that's actually a perfect little affirmation heading into chapter 2, which is all about embodying your power, right? The name of this chapter is actually Stop Waiting on God or a Man or Your Next Client. It's all within you. It's like Dorothy, honey. Everything you wanted is already in you. Just click your heels 3 times or come to study group on Her Power Moves, the squad on first Thursday nights, right? And so in this chapter, you're going to take a look back at where you've been, where you're coming from. She even mentions for some folks who they may have church hurt. If you're not familiar with that term, it's just having been in certain possibly religious or other spiritual environments, and you're in those environments with people, right? And so people hurt people, unfortunately, but that can taint your whole experience depending on what occurred with that whole spiritual walk, right? And so she does touch on that. As you know, this is a very spiritual journey that we are all on that has metaphysical and physical realities to it, right? So we are doing metaphysical work while we are cementing things in our current reality. And that's really a lot of where chapter 2 is going to take us in terms of activating your power. And it's time to get tactical, right? We're going to get very tactical. Amanda goes into tactics for tapping into that co-creative power that you have to change your current and present reality. Right? So, homework. Oh, so then with the homework from that perspective, we are looking at the prompts that are at either the end of the companion journal or the end of, in chapter 2 of the companion journal, or at the end of chapter 2 within the book. Like I mentioned, I will not be copying and pasting portions of her book. So that's available for you to pick up, purchase, or get from the library, listen to on audio, whatever that looks like. But we do go through those prompts as part of our meeting in real time. So please be sure to have looked at them, digested them, worked through them prior to our next meeting on in February. And so the headline is for our prompts on chapter 2, how to bring anything you desire into physical reality. And like I said, that with chapter 2, Amanda's going to walk you through not, what does that look like, right? Understanding where you've come from, what belief systems and things may have happened in your past or how you're feeling right now, and then how to push through that and embody your own power to co-create the reality that you desire, because like we just said, all that you desire is already within you. Inside of you is all that you desire. Right. So 2 things that I want to just read quickly, these 2 quotes out of the book, and then I'm going to get out of here and let you get to your homework. Just to remind you that you are in control. This is your journey, right? And so some things that you may side eye or be like, girl, what are you talking about? It's okay, right? And that's what I actually like a lot about this book, is that she acknowledges when it would seem like some things come up, like, have you seen my bills? Have you seen my data? Have you seen my parents? Have you seen the life I come from? Whatever that looks like. And so we acknowledge that, and then get the tools for now co-creating the life that we want to have. And I read these 2 little sections, the second of which is actually coming out of chapter 2, while we were on our meeting. So if you've already watched the replay, or if you were with us on our chapter 1 meeting, this will sound familiar to you. But I think I'm going to take an opportunity pretty much every time we're together to bring this back around, because I think it's very easy to look at someone who may be further along in a journey than you are and feel like, well, of course, it's easy for them to say that, right? It's easy for them to say, because they don't know my journey. They don't know where I am. And this feels hard. And doing this work actually is hard. And it's a continual journey. So this comes out of chapter 1. The first month that I paid myself, paid my team, paid the balance on my company credit cards, paid the balance on my personal credit cards, set aside the money for bills for the next month, shopped, spent, ate, traveled, donated in all the ways I wanted, and still put $100,000 in my personal savings account for the month, I knew I had done it. I've manifested a lot. And every single day of my life, I look at and work on my limiting ideas around what I can do, create, have, and become in this lifetime. Okay? So I say that to say that even when you start to get everything that you're co-creating, right? You still have work to do. It's never ending, right? So until we close our eyes for that final time, we will be doing this work. But the beauty is that you have us to do this work with you on our journey for all of 2024. Okay, so that's where we're going. I look forward to seeing you at our meeting. I think it's February 4th. Our next meeting is February 1st. Our next meeting is February 1st, 2024. I look forward to seeing you, and please drop comments and share and give feedback. Let's interact. We can interact between our meetings. And if you're looking for accountability, look for each other, look to each other to lean on each other through from month to month in between our meetings as well. Okay, so chapter 2, we are not waiting on a man or our next client or God. We are co-creating our future. All right, I will see you soon. Take care.